Hello, Piscean friends. For those of you who have been here before, welcome back. And for those of you who's your first time, welcome. I'm Denise. This is Surrender to the Flow Tarot. And today I'll be doing a mid-monthly reading for the month of March for the collective of Pisces. Any of the 11 positions, they will all work. They will be strongest in your top 4, which is Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But they will work in all. Okay, I do mid-monthly readings divided into decans. I do a full reading for each decan. What is a decan? Every astrological sign is divided into 3 parts called decans, and depending on when your birthday is, determines which decan you fall into or under. That's how you can know 3 different Pisces, and they're all very, very different from each other because it could be which decan were they born into. Okay, so I will be pulling initial card for each decan. And then I'll look at the split, what's in the middle and what's on the bottom. I will talk about all of that. I will have in the description box below timestamps and the dates for the decans so that if you want, you could just click on your own and watch that one. Every single reading overlaps. This is a Pisces reading, so all of the decans are probably going to resonate with you. It's just slightly different aspects of one centralized truth. You feel me? So I recommend watching up until I start to clarify decan 1 so that you have enough information so that you can decide how many decans would benefit you to watch. Okay? All right, so the question we are asking the universe on your behalf is, what do you need to put your attention and your awareness on for the rest of the month? Where does your awareness need to go? And we're going to start with the Sacred Creators Oracle. We will definitely clarify, and we will clarify with tarot or oracle, whatever comes up to use in the reading. Okay, so decan 1 for Pisces is February 19th to the 29th. Decan 2 is March 1st to the 10th, and Decan 3 is March 11th to the 20th. So happy birthday to those of you who are at the March Pisces end. Happy birthday. Okay, and happy belated to everybody else. Are you ready? We're going to start with the initial cards for each decan, starting with Decan 1. Follow through. Okay, so it's about taking action, letting yourself have a chance to expand. Your soul shines. Oh, that's nice, Pisces. That's true about all the Pisces I know. Shines right outside your eyeballs. Right out your eyeballs. Limitations inspire innovations. That's how you look and frame, how you look at things. Experiences, conflicts, the way you look at it, and reframing it, right? Reframing it, finding the lesson, finding the growth, finding the resolution when it feels like there isn't one. Okay, so what did you get? External validation with the crystal headphones. Okay, which is 50, which is 5, which is the number of obstacles. Decan 2, March 1st to the 10th. What's your honest truth? That's 2. That is communion. It's transition. It's choices. And Decan 3, March 11th to the 20th. Woo! Ah, this is the one that fell. Ambush fear with your ferocious dreams. Yes, that's dope. Can't wait to read that. And with flipped but didn't fall out, you are epic. You are light. This is about your soul's purpose. It's about restoration, okay? There's some kind of restoration going on, and there's some kind of grounding that needs to happen, which is always the case. Often the case with Pisces, because you guys, I know, I say every time, it's so hard for you to be alive. It's hard for you to be human. It's painful, literally painful, sensation-wise for you. You feel everything. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's funny that I did that. I didn't look at the bottom. Oh, that must be, okay. Oh, look at this bottom. You are magic. There you go. That's true. You guys are the most, you, Taurus, and Aquarius. in my opinion, are the most magical of all of the signs for different reasons. Different reasons. Okay. We're just going to get started into it, okay? Well, hold on. No, we're going to just get started into it. Deacon 1. External validation, bitches. Let's see what's up. Sometimes external validation is positive, you know, it comes in the way of support, especially when you're in the beginning of a journey or in the beginning of something and you're just developing still. It is important and crucial to have that external validation, that mirror back to you, showing you who you are in all your glory, right? Like who you really are, and supporting you and seeing you. What you want to watch out for is when it becomes codependent, when you feel like you need external validation in order to follow through with things, in order to be your best self, not counting on yourself already, that you already have. The only validation you really need is from yourself, ultimately. But there are stages where there's always support throughout our entire lives. We're going to need support, and it will look different ways as we evolve, right? And what our needs are. So let's get into this actually and see what it is. Essential meanings. Finding your own vibe and your own beat. You guys are good at that. You are. Effortlessly attracting others because of your warm energy. You do definitely attract others effortlessly for every Pisces I know. I don't know about the warm energy part. I mean, it depends on what else you have in what Deacon you're in, and what, so those in Deacon 1 maybe, which is, what is it again? February 19th to the 29th. You may possess the warm energy, but it depends on what else is in your chart too. And then your life circumstances, of course. Tuning out the noise of external validation and listening to your own heart. Opening yourself up to external validation and accepting compliments. Okay, here's the self-care message. So these are things that you want to be aware of, right? When you're in these, it's a red flag. Paying too much attention to naysayers, listening to opinion as if it is fact, or giving your opinion as if it is fact, worrying about what others might think, pleasing others, the addictive nature of needing praise, codependency, right? That's a wound that needs to be healed up in you, for some need that wasn't met for you at some point. You can meet it yourself, and you can go get support also outside of yourself to help you heal that up. An addiction to social media. Okay. On one hand, external validation can build you up and give you encouragement and support to continue. Positive external validation whispers, we love it, continue, we want more. It can be wonderfully supportive and reassuring and offer glimpses into what's possible for the future. In this way, external validation can be a driving force for your success, yes. On the other hand, it can be terribly addictive and become far too important if you give it too much power. It's important to learn how to tune it out in order to tune into your own vibe and creative north. This is especially true when others don't understand your vision, or when you are doing something totally new, which is like every second for Pisces. So I know it's hard. The absence of external validation can be a creativity killer if you find yourself unable to move ahead without it. That's the key right there. If you're unable to move ahead without it, right? Red flag, red flag. It's time to know thyself and to rely on your own acumen and intuition as you decide something's value. You're the high priestess and the moon, okay? You are all about intuition. Accept the positive when it's there, and in its absence, be your own cheerleader. Truthfully, right? Look at yourself truthfully. Allow your own potential to inspire you, and tune out the noise of external validation whenever it's not gifting you joy. And when you're not gifting you joy, you can hype yourself up and it'd be a bunch of fucking disillusioned bullshit. That's not joy. That feeling you get is adrenaline. It's not joy. You want joy. You feel me? Throw a headset on. I want a crystal headset, please. I want a crystal set of headphones that are made out of selenite. Yes, okay. Light a candle in your heart. Groove to your favorite drum beat and relax. Your unique gift for seeing the world in your unique way will guide you. Here's some questions. When do you rely on someone else's opinion, and whose perspective is the most important when there is a difference of opinion? How can you use external validation as a way to market test or perception check without relying on it for inspiration? How can you learn to be your own compass? When is your optimal time to seek a second opinion? In your current situation, you must have the only voice that matters. What does your heart say? Okay. How can Pisceans who resonate with Deacon 1 become their own compass? We're using the Lightseers. Okay. The Four of Wands. Inclusivity through standing in your truth and maintaining the care and keeping of you, and recognizing the divinity in others and where it's equally committed to you, and joining together to make something new. The Knight of Wands, but it didn't fall. It almost did. So that is that fire, that drive, the desire, right? It's the desire, and it's the burning of the desire, letting that fuel you and move you forward in a way that you still that honors you. It's not something you ride out till it's over. It's something that you use to propel you into motion to your highest vibrational good. Do you feel me? What came out was the Five of Pentacles. Be aware of your triggers. Be aware anything that makes you feel, anytime you feel not good, you feel less than, you feel less than, not worthy. Be careful. Are you actually less than, not worthy? Or are you reacting because the situation feels like one you've been through before, where people were treating you poorly? Also, what were you doing right before this, whatever happens to you? Where were you moving from? Were you moving from a place of adrenaline? Were you moving from a place of denial? Were you moving from a place of disillusionment, or anything that you moved from that wasn't grounded? Check that. And also be aware of those feelings. Anything that triggers you feeling like an outsider, makes you feel bad, for anything that makes you feel bad for who you are at your core, right? We're not talking about consequences for poor behavior on your part. We're talking about projections and toxicity and abuse, and from other sources. There's a difference. And if you don't know the difference, that's part of this, to figure it out. And you figure that out by figuring you out, how you react and how you respond. What are the differences? What are the triggers? You know what I mean? Look for the clues. They're there. The King of Wands for Pisces. This is fire. This is Leo, but it could be Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Knight of Wands is also Sagittarius. So you might have fire in your chart. You might have Sagittarius in your chart. You might have Leo. You might not. You might not be male. You might be non-binary. It doesn't matter. This is tied into, hold on. Okay. Underneath it is the Judgment. Okay. So this is where you want to learn how to embody. Okay. Full confidence in yourself, in your abilities, to show up, to be reliant, to be source of strength for people, to have determination, to see things through, and you're passionate about it, but you're fair. You're fair. It's gentle strength. Do you know what I mean? It can fucking rip your head off, but it can also give you the warmest hug you ever had. And the bottom is the Seven of Cups. Okay, so that is when you find yourself in situations that feel threatening, that you feel insecure about. Take a pause. You have a lot of options coming up as your choices for behavior, right? For responses. Take a pause and pick the response, not the reaction. The response, the behavior that brings you toward your highest vibrational good. These are things that will really benefit you to know way ahead of time. This is work that you need to do on yourself so that before you get in those situations or after you get in one and it went horribly wrong, go back and look at it for real and see what's underneath, right? The more prepared you can be, the more it benefits you. The more of an expert you are on yourself and your reactions, responses, triggers, behaviors, all that. Negatives, positives, your light and your shadow, integrating it, the better it is for you. The more you will be able to be human, it will be easier for you. Okay? Okay, Deacon 1. Deacon 2. What's your honest truth? If you didn't watch Deacon 1, I'm going to tell you right now, go watch it, because I already know that this is overlappy. Okay. The essential meanings are total authenticity and transparency, a glorious unveiling of spirit. That's what the King of Wands is. He is total authenticity, and he is transparent. Very, very obvious. You know exactly where you stand. You know exactly what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because this person is sure of themselves, and not a cocky way. And just they know themselves that well. You know what I'm saying? Clear and compelling communication that comes from the heart. You're good at that, Pisces. Finding the key to abundance by finding what is true and right for your soul. For your soul, not your ego, not your human form, for your soul first, your soul, okay? Self-care message. So these are things to be aware of. A need to peel back the many layers of your own truth. Holding on to masks for protection. A true dive into your own heart with love and compassion for yourself. Forgiveness. And for others, possibly, when you're ready. A need to pay closer attention to the shadow aspect of your story. Yes, integrating your light and your shadow. It's the Chariot, by the way, which is Cancer, by the way, which is another water sign. Yes, okay. Areas where you may be denying your truest desires and your true essences. We hold on to many layers of truth. Truths we learned from our parents, the ones we've learned during lived experiences, the ones that our ego holds on to in order to lovingly protect us from the world. We might not need that protection, you understand? You've outgrown a layer, and it's time to do some shedding in order to curate the best framework for your future. Give future you a chance, Pisces. At the base of all your learned truths lies a different sort of true, an underlying true essence. And this core foundation is refusing to be quieted or ignored any longer. You will hear it clearly now as an old truth has become too small for your expanding life. Perhaps a soul purpose, a sacred contract, or a destiny is unveiling your truest true or your honest truth. So something monumental is happening to you or about to. It's right there. You're right in it, in the midst of it. Perhaps it is reminding you now that you are here for a reason. When you strip it all down to the soul, what work are you being called to do? For the soul, from the soul. And why are you here at this time? Here's some questions. Do you believe soul purposes can change and evolve over time? These are all worth answering, okay? What were you doing the last time you felt insecure or inauthentic? And what did you do or think to create that situation or contribute to it? How do you feel when you are most authentically you? Is there a negative belief about yourself or about your abilities that is holding you back? A story about circumstance? How can you tap into the infinite nature of your soul and shift your thinking on this? Okay. Okay, so what can Pisceans do to shift their thinking to stand more in your honest truth? We're using the Tarot of Curious Creatures. The Queen of Wands. You got the King of Wands. It's a lot of fire for Pisces, so you might have Aries or any fire, Leo or Aries or Sagittarius. All three signs showed up. The Queen of Wands sideways going into the reverse. Yeah, self-deception. It's be aware of how you're deceiving yourself into false confidence. Okay, and in a manipulative, seductive way, how you are using seduction as a manipulation tool, or you're using your strength to intimidate. You don't want to do those, right? You want to bring those into balance. Yeah. You have anxiety tied into new beginnings, I think. You have anxiety tied into things that you enjoy a lot and get you excited. I think you don't trust yourself or know fully how to navigate through it in a way that keeps you grounded. And it produces a lot of anxiety, which then causes your confidence, the way you show up, to kind of be an asshole. You know what I mean? Or a bitch or whatever. Or a cunt, whatever. Oh, am I going to get flagged for that? I don't know. Don't flag me for that. Okay. Some fucking Pisces is going to flag me for that. Oh, if the truth fits, son. Okay. I'm going to pull another one for what you, another one. What can Pisces do to get the Queen of Wands in the upright? The Tower. Let everything that's not stable and supportive, all of the behaviors, the people, the places, the things, let it fall away. Your foundation needs to be rebuilt. Have patience, use faith as a compass. This is Sagittarius too. I'm really curious to know if you have any fire in your chart. I'd love to know in the comments. Divine timing is at work. So slow yourself down, okay? Slow yourself down. You gotta let go of control. You have to find the peace in the not knowing. You need to find the frequency of not knowing that doesn't cause dissonance inside of your nervous system. There is in the unknowing and the not controlling of you. The things that you can control are yourself. Refilling your energetic reserve and then preserving it so that you have an overflow, right? That's what you can control, and that's where you need to focus yourself. The Chariot, which I knew was going to come out because we keep talking about you're integrating the light and the shadow together, which is Cancer, which is you right now. It's water sign. Okay. The Seven of Cups and the Four of Wands. Again, I feel like that came out already, but maybe that came out for Aquarius, which I did right before you. I don't remember. Sorry. Okay. Okay. The Lovers underneath the Seven of Cups. Hold on a second. The Fool, the High Priestess, which is you. Okay, hold on. There's a lot going on underneath here. Okay. Be careful of how you are manifesting. You are a master manifester, and you have been used to manifesting in a manipulative way, which is why you're stuck. You know what I mean? Look at what's underneath your desire for manifesting. Manifesting is bringing something into reality, into the 3D that is just an idea or a concept or an energy, making it, transmuting it into something that's here, that shows up for you. And so you need to be very, 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 very clear and come from a pure place when it has to do with manifestation and how you show up in your life and in partnerships, right? Be an honest version of yourself, vulnerable, be okay with being vulnerable. Again, find the peaceful frequency in vulnerability instead of the dissonance ones. You'll find it. And it's letting all of that knowledge and wisdom you have how do I explain this? It's all energy, right? Energy is a frequency, and that's a charge, right? So all of this information you have is all coming together. It sparks a charge, right? And this kind is the kind that it compels you forward into your rapid growth and expansion of yourself, and it's how you show up outside of yourself. You have made peace with your light and your shadow. They are friends. You know how to transmute the negatives and alchemize them into the positives, right? You know when to call on them. You know when they're coming up, those kinds of things. So that you can be, at the end of the day, because it looks very much like a partnership of whatever, it can be whatever kind, but it's very important to you and it's integral for you, for your existence, right? Your divine counterpart. Yeah. And then your business stuff too. But I feel very strongly that there's the basis of being in intimate relationship and being a mirror with someone and with everyone you work with. You know what I mean? So you have to be very clear on you. Okay. Sorry, that was very dramatic. I didn't mean it. It just comes through. Okay. Take a drink. March 11th to the 20th. Ambush fear with your ferocious dream. I never got to read this card yet. 51-6, which is the lovers, which is literally right here. And it's what I'm talking about. It's literally what we're talking about, right? Romance, love, union, communion, co-creation with equal is essential for you, Pisces. Essential. And you will not have a successful union until you are strong in yourself and you know who is your equal and who isn't. You know what I'm saying? But also until you're not manipulating things. You know, you're not consciously manipulating to reach a specific outcome. Feel like whatever. Okay. Essential meanings: a time to be courageous, standing up to fear for the big sacred win. It's scary for you to be vulnerable. It's scary for you to let go of control. And because you need a person with you who is the complementary balance to you, who can remind you. They're not going to keep you grounded. They're going to, who they are in their essence is going to inspire you to be grounded, and it's going to evolve you, and then you're both going to simultaneously uplift each other. You're going to both be things for each other. You feel me? A great time to take a risk, your dream being within reach. Exciting. Self-care message, things to look out for. Feeling stuck, fear of moving ahead, feeling controlled by fear or uncertainty. Suddenly there's a really bad smell, like something's dead. Pisces. Okay. A time to release negative thought patterns, a time to be realistic about risk tolerance. Remembering that without small risks, there is no growth. Learning to welcome risk as a teacher. Feels like the Fool energy. It's that control, right? where it's the control. So you're either keeping yourself small and playing safe, or you're being reckless, you know what I mean? Or you're being manipulative. It's about letting yourself expand. It's a risk. It can be a risk to be open and vulnerable. And there are definitely people who have taken advantage of that for you in the past. You have come a long way. You are getting there. Keep learning yourself. The more strong you are in yourself, in your sense of self and how you work and who you are and what your ultimate truths are, the more discerning you can be. It doesn't matter what comes at you, because your discernment will be top notch. You feel me? Okay. Your fear is an indicator that you are brave enough to challenge the status quo. It is normal to experience fear on the road to success. It doesn't have to be business related, whatever you're working at, whatever the success would be for that, in relationship or otherwise. Every successful creator on the planet has had myriad moments when they were worried that their idea may not work. Change this around to whatever it needs to, because these cards are like kind of for like business type, creative types, but like they can go for everything. So when the words are more business, just switch it to whatever applies to you. Learn to manage your self-doubt and do it anyway. Tell fear to move out of the way, and know that your prosperity will come when you are courageous enough to follow your own light down your own path. Innovation always coexists with vulnerability, so allow them to live inside of your dream together. You won't have all of the answers, but remember, most of the time, the unknown is not nearly as terrible as you can imagine it to be. Sometimes your big fear will actually be as tiny as the field mouse that blocks the elephant's path. Like a gentle giant, use your great power, presence, inspiration, and regal fierceness, King of Wands, right? Queen of Wands, to stand up and do it anyway. Find your bravery and go for it. Your dream is worth it. So are you, Pisces. Fear is a nasty naysayer. How do you respond when it screams mean girl insults like, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, I look like shit, why would they listen to me, what if I fail? How often what if they betray me, what if they leave me, what if they cheat on me, what if they're lying, what if they use me? How often do you move ahead in spite of fear? How are you making sure that the desire to reach your dream is infinitely bigger than the fear you may have of taking a risk? Okay. What actions can Pisces do to ambush their fear? The Nine of Cups. That's you in your comfort zone, Pisceans. It's sideways. So you want to be careful about overindulging, about excess, about sadism. I don't know why that's coming up, but it is. About tainting purity. The Nine of Cups emotions is dream fulfillment, your personal dream fulfillment. Okay, the things, and that what that means is joy, is your personal joy bringer, like your ultimate joy, the things living in that space and what that looks like for you. So the opposite is what you want to be careful of. If you're manipulating to get those things, how are you showing up? Are you excessively experiencing them? You know what I mean? Are you getting lost in them? Are you using them as distractions? Are you saying that it's out of your touch and you can never reach it? Are you afraid to succeed, so you're overindulging to self-sabotage? You feel me? The Seven of Pentacles on the split, which is reassessment. It's something you've been working on, something you've been actively participating in. It's at a point where you have to take a step back and you need to look at it objectively and see what worked, what didn't, what do we keep, what do we get rid of, what do we change, what stays the same, what direction do we need to grow in, do we need to start over, what's the best for everyone involved? You feel me? Cutting out everything that doesn't go in alignment with your personal fulfillment, with your joy, with you living in a life of joy and surrendering to the flow of the universe. That's what that is. And it's tied in to your legacy and the way, and into collaborations, into co-creation. Co-creation is really important for Pisces. I think it's like essential. The 10 of Cups is underneath that. In order to have a flourishing collaboration, working together, you need to be honest with yourself and very clear on what you're working toward, and then not try to fit people into it, but to be that truth and see who aligns and who doesn't. Let the things that don't fall away. Don't try to manipulate. Don't manipulate, and catch yourself when you're trying to do that, okay? Allow yourself to be open and vulnerable, but have your knowing and your being and your rootedness all in alignment. Does that make sense? Okay, we're going to pull one last chakra love for everybody. Whoa. Root chakra, which is your base chakra, hematite. So you want to get some hematite if you can. You want to wear red and orange, or like have that in your sight. Definitely down here, base chakra. Look up root chakra openings and balancings and awakenings on YouTube. There's a million free ones. Foundation. Foundation is what the castle of your soul is built on. That's what we're talking about, right? All right, there you go, Pisces. I hope that this was helpful. Thank you for coming and sharing your energy with me. And thank you for coming and holding space for me so that I could attempt to relay the messages that were coming through for you. I will see you in like 2 weeks at your April reading. Again, happy birthday to those of you who are about to have a birthday, and happy belated to all of you who already had your birthday. Until April. Bye-bye. Be well, Pisces.